Packer and Durham on a Monday. You guys on ACC Network. Of course, we are streaming live on the ESPN app. You've also got us on SiriusXM channel 371. 844-SAY-ACCN is the number for the program. Do appreciate Mark Herzlich, who joined us earlier. This is all part of a BC takeover today on ACC Network, Wes. And now we're going to bring on your guy, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons.
What's up, guys?
Matt Ryan joins us. All right, now, you look – all right, you just told us during the break, did you just finish your COVID test? Now, Packer's got some experience on COVID test he wants to share with you.
Yeah, Matt, let me tell you something. If you're driving, and it looks like you are, I've had 3 of these bad boys. The first time I took the test was one of those drive-thrus where you walk in and it looks like the people were on the moon and they're sticking a swab up the back of your brain. And the woman says it's going to burn and then we're going to twist. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I thought it was going to be one of those saliva test things. No, it was not. It was through the nostril, through the back of your brain. And then she goes, and listen, your eyes may water a little bit, but you're free to go. As I pulled out of the tent, Matt, I swear to you, my eyes started to water. And next thing you know, where'd he go? See, that's what happens. You take the COVID test, you can't see anything, Wes. You go blind. Just like that. Matt disappears off your screen. You can't see a thing.
All right.
We'll get him back here in a second. He needs to know this.
We'll get him back here. Apparently it already happened, right?
Yeah, that's what happens. You go blind. You go blind for like 20 seconds while you're driving down the highway. But seriously, I took that test, man, and it was like I had to pull the truck off on the side of the road. I was like, I can't see anything, man. I'm tearing up, and I told you, I felt like I just saw Old Yeller for the first time, and I mean, you're just crying, you're bawling like crazy, and you're like, man alive. If you thought the swab in the back of your brain was bad, wait till you try to see for the next 10 minutes. But nevertheless, this whole COVID testing, I mean, listen, we got the NBA guys in a bubble, the WNBA's in a bubble, Major League Baseball is trying to get started this past week. The Marlins are on park. I mean, this whole COVID thing's just got people going every which way. All right, there he is. Coach, he's back. We got him back. Now, hey, Matt,
I was just leave when I was hearing about that swab going into your brain. That was too much for me to take.
No, I was going to tell you the story that when I did it, I was driving, and man alive, I started to tear up. I had to pull the truck off on the side of the road for 10 minutes because I was just teared up for so long. But, you know, it's a necessary evil in this day and age. You just got to do it. I know you guys, it's got to have been crazy now, this whole COVID thing, what you have to do in the offseason, now getting ready for a season.
Yeah, it's, the testing has probably gotten a little bit better. It's a little bit easier, a little bit less painful right now. So I did my 3rd round of it today. I've kind of been negative all 3 times, so I'm going to get my physical this afternoon, and then tomorrow will be the first day I've been in the facility since December. So I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to getting started.
This is the BC takeover today, and by the way, it's 6:00 tonight on ACC Network. Boston College 24, Florida State 19. Eagles get 3 touchdowns in the second period, stake themselves to an 11-point win, and Apanichevus or whatever it is, Sid Vicious kicks a field goal in the second half for you. And then the 9:00 game is the 2007 Thursday night game in Blacksburg, which to me is probably one of the best football games not only of that year, but it was a defining moment of your college career potentially, right?
Yeah, for sure. Good memories of both of those games. You mentioned the Thursday night game against Virginia Tech. That was for sure, I think, the one that people kind of remember the most from my college experience. You got the touchdown pass right here to Rich Gunnell in the corner, which was awesome. And then we kind of scrambled late and had a touchdown pass to Andre Callender, which is coming up right here. So these are probably 2 of the plays that defined my career at Boston College, and certainly ones that, I look back on with fond memories.
Matt, we just had Mark Herzlich on. He said, I want to hear about all this offense, man. It was defense back then. It was BC's calling card. What's your take on that?
Listen, he's not wrong. We put a lot of guys in the league from the defensive side of the ball. And I got to be honest with you, before he got sick, Mark was probably one of the best players college or NFL that I ever played with. He was, just an amazing athlete, unbelievable competitor. And when he got back healthy, I mean, he had an amazing professional career. But prior to that, he was for sure, top 4 or 5 guys I've ever played with.
Matt, what was it though about BC? Because I mean, you and I've talked about it, and I mentioned it with Mark. The friendship and the just the way socially that all the athletes were kind of together. I mean, your wife played women's basketball, but I mean, I remember you telling me about hockey guys you were friends with, Jared Dudley and
Yep.
those guys that played basketball. I mean, it just crossed all sorts of lines, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was a unique spot, and I think part of it had to do with, when we all got there. When I got there, all of us were in the same practice facility. We all were in Conti Forum. It was before the Hockey Center was built at BC, and so we shared the weight room with the basketball team, with the women's basketball team, with the hockey team. Our locker rooms were right next to all of theirs, and so when we were coming in and out of the building, we would see all these different players. We were in the same study halls. It was, the facilities weren't great at that time, but they were small enough that you got to kind of hang around all these other people. And I thought that experience made it really cool. And you mentioned it, Jared Dudley, Brian Boyle, different guys that had amazing careers respectively in the NBA and the NHL were people that I would lift with. I would see them in the weight room. So it was a unique time at Boston College, and a lot of fun for us to be a part of it.
Matt, the style that you guys had when you played at BC, how did that help you transition into what's been a great NFL career?
Well, I think we had, a very pro-style offense, particularly my first, couple of years with Dana Bible and Tom O'Brien. I mean, we were 50-50. We ran the football, really effectively, and we were a lot of play action pass, and then it was your job as a quarterback to convert on third downs. My last year, we opened it up a little bit more, and we threw it. But I think, having experience in a system where you were required to make the protection calls, audible at the line of scrimmage, and throw into tight windows, I think that helped me, when I got to the NFL.
I now think of you as a grizzled veteran in the NFL. Did the 2007 Matt Ryan ever think about becoming a grizzled veteran in the National Football League?
It's funny. I have a story of when Tom O'Brien and Dana Bible left to go to NC State. I remember Dana, was telling me as he was leaving, he's like, I'm really proud of you and what you've accomplished up until this point. I really think you'll have, a decade-long run in the NFL. And I was like, man, I would kill to have 10 years in the NFL, right? And now I'm going into year 13, and I'm like, God, I want another decade. I want 10 more. But it's funny the things that you remember and that stick with you. And I remember thinking at that point that if I could accomplish that, that would be, pretty amazing.
Matt, there must be something in the water because, that Brady character, he's still in the league. I think he's 75 years old. So you know what? Hey, don't sell that second decade short. You may still have that in you.
I'm hoping so. I gotta get on that TB12 method, whatever he's doing, because he's still playing at a high level.
Real quick, I know this is the most bizarre offseason of your athletic career. I mean, I don't know how many of the guys you've been able to get around to throw with that you've done in the past and things like that. I mean, any idea of what the next month or change will be like for you and most guys that are trying to play in the NFL this year?
Well, I think the one thing we know is we're going to have to be able to adapt and adjust daily, right? You just don't know what the day-to-day is going to be like. And I think that the people and the teams that adjust and handle the uncertainty the best are going to be the ones that are successful. I'm excited. I've been able to get to the facility and see what the testing looks like the last couple of days. And our organization, Wes, as you know, being around it so much, they've done an amazing job of trying to set it up the best way possible and to keep us as safe as possible. So I think we're going to be, okay. We've all got to, be responsible and take care of our business. But, I'm excited that, finally tomorrow I'm going to be in the building and be able to get some work done.
All right, I almost hate to bring this up, but I have to, Matt. You took a shot when you played at BC in Death Valley that I didn't think you were going to get up. I thought your head was going to be rolling down about the 20-yard line. And every time I see that video, I go, God, how does a man take a shot like that and get up and go, hey, I want some more of this? Have you ever been hit that hard in the NFL?
No, I tell people all the time, they ask me, what's the hardest you've ever been hit in the NFL? I'm like, dude, the NFL hasn't been that bad. I got hit in college as a sophomore at Clemson, and that hit for sure was the hardest I've ever taken. Today, it would have been like a huge penalty, right? Like he would have been, gone for the rest of the game. So it's good that the rules have changed. But I remember, laying on the ground down there in Clemson and rolling around being like, I'm not sure this is for me. I'm not sure this sport is for me. And so, luckily I'm too dumb to do anything else. So I bounced back up and kept playing.
Well, I kid you not. When I wasn't at the game that day, but when I saw the highlight, not knowing what had happened, the first time I saw that highlight, I said, is that guy still alive? I mean, seriously, he was one of the most vicious, like, oh my goodness. I mean, that was like the ultimate targeting rule hit if there's ever been one. And man, you got up and said, man, let's go ahead and win the ball game. We'll catch these guys later, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a good win for us. But I actually still have, so I got cut from that hit. I had kind of a scrape down my chest that I still have a scar that kind of runs down my chest from back then in 2000. I guess it's 2005.
What a shot.
That's a nice memento to have if you gotta, I guess, take the shot, right? I mean,
you got the W though. You get the W. You don't care.
Just a little scrape.
It's just you get the W. You don't care about all that. That's just, you look back at that and laugh at it.
Yeah, I think it was David Dunham. I think that was who hit me. So if he's out there watching, man, like I still feel that one here 15 years later.
All right. Tell Sarah, your wife, by the way, that the women's basketball part of the takeover is at 12:30, but it's from last year's ACC tournament. We didn't have any of the game video from when she played.
Her highlight was not in the ACC at the time. We moved into the Big East, I guess, my sophomore year, and it was her third year as a junior. They were playing against UConn and Diana Taurasi, and Sarah hit a game winner against them with about 3 or 4 seconds to go with a little 18-foot jump shot or 15-foot jump shot. That was the highlight of her career. But she was a pretty amazing player. But she'll be tuned in today at 12:30 watching the ladies team go after it.
All right, Matt, last question. We normally leave this for student athletes, but we're going to make an exception to the rule here. Do you remember, despite the hit in Clemson in 05, do you remember your hardest class at Boston College?
Yeah. Oh, I do. Father McGowan, Business Applied Statistics. And I was, I think, a sophomore. It was the only class I had to withdraw from. I couldn't quite get it done in that class, and I felt bad. I couldn't do it, but I had a major change after that. I went into the communications school after that, and kind of went on from there.
Smart move. That's why you're a quarterback. That's why you're still in the league all these years, man. Move on the fly.
Get out of a bad play.
That's great.
Hey, all right. By law, I'm going to ask you this. What's your best round so far?
Oh man, I've been right around par a handful of times this year. To be honest with you, I haven't been playing great golf. I've been playing a lot, but not playing that well. So I need to get back to football because I've been losing some money this offseason.
I think you can handle that. I think you can handle reaching in the pocket and pulling out a couple C notes for the L there. I'm not worried about that part.
I'm tired of being the ATM, though. I'm tired of being the ATM.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Look forward to seeing you soon. Best to Sarah and the boys. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me on. You guys are the best.
All right. Appreciate it, Mark. Matt Ryan, Boston College ACC Player of the Year. finalist for the Walter Camp Trophy, and has gone on to a marvelous NFL career, including the 2016 MVP. And statistically, I don't know what to tell you. He is in the top 10 of a lot of career charts, and he is easily the best quarterback in Atlanta Falcons history, for sure. So thanks to Matt for spending some time with us in the midst of going back to camp tomorrow and starting, hard to believe, season 13 as the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. When we come back, more on Notre Dame. Joanna Barnaby-McNamee will join us, bottom of the hour, BC's women's coach, and we'll get to your calls when we come back at 844-SAY-ACCN on the potential of the Irish competing for the ACC football championship this fall.